Wild Turkey, 101 8-year, finally in Michigan. Today was the day. I've been waiting about a month to get this bottle. Other markets have had it that long. Finally here in Michigan, bought the bottle, recording the review today. You all know what this is already. Wild Turkey 101, aged 8 years. The normal 101 is typically a blend of 6 and 8 years together from Wild Turkey. This is at least 8-year-old. So me, of course, being Wild Turkey probably being my favorite distillery, I am super pumped to try this one. I'm going to do a fresh crack here. Never tried. I want to give you my full uncut reactions. Whoa, that bottle is smoky out the top there. Look at that. That's crazy. Smoking! I love the color on that. That's great. Wild Turkey 101. Again, this is 8 years. Same mash bill as your standard 101 and Wild Turkey in general. 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley. And I am going to be putting this head-to-head against the 101 at the end of this video, as well as the rare breed. We're going to do some comparisons, see what the differences are, and see if it's truly worth the price hike. So let's look at color here. It's that classic red tinge Wild Turkey. You know, it really is. I always get that red-looking, color on Wild Turkey products in general. So, all right, I've been waiting for this since this label dropped on TTB. So let's go into it. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Now this is a fresh cork pull. Fresh cork pop. We know that. Immediately, this is giving me more baking spice than I get a typical Wild Turkey product. I should say the typical 101. Typically with the 101, the standard 101, and like I said, we'll go into this and find out for sure, but it's a lot more citrus forward. I get that orange, I get that cinnamon cherry. This has got a lot more just deep, rich bourbon notes. A lot of vanilla, almost like a whipped vanilla, like I'll sometimes describe in our rare breed as well. A lot of toffee on this coming through, and that cinnamon cherry is still there, but this is definitely not that maraschino cherry. This is more like a deep, dark, rich cherry for sure. Like a chocolate-covered cinnamon cherry is what it is. That's got a really nice nose. I mean, the fruit is still there, but this is definitely darker fruits than it is lighter fruits. I still get that 101 profile where it's still the orange, still that zest, but it's definitely a lot deeper, a lot richer. It's got a lovely nose. All right, let's give it a taste. Cheers. Yeah, honestly, it holds pretty true to the palate for what the nose is. All those same baking spices. A lot more baking spice than I'll typically get in a Wild Turkey product. As mentioned, at least in the Wild Turkey 101, some of the Russell's picks definitely have this, where it's very baking spice clove heavy. This is much more than their normal 101. At least it seems that way, Another sip. It's got a good mouthfeel. The rye spice is showing up really on the middle of the back of the palate. It's got that little bit of 101 rye kick, where you get that Wild Turkey profile. But in the front of the palate, as opposed to like the standard 101 product, I feel like it's getting me more of those classic bourbon notes, like I mentioned. The vanillas, the rich caramels, the toffee, man, a lot of toffee. Getting a lot of that. Let's give it one more sip here. It's good. It's good. I recently put out a review of the standard 101, and quality, in my opinion, I think it has dropped off over the past 5 years on it. I don't know if they're blending in more towards that 6-year age instead of the 8-year, barrels. Just blending a little bit younger, maybe in anticipation of this release coming out and hitting the United States. But this is good. This is really good. Let me grab my 101 before I go into details on the bottle. We'll do a side-by-side and see what we come up with. All right, we got our standard 101 here. We're going to give that a pour and put them next to each other. See what we get here. So same proof, color should be nearly identical, and it really is. Still the blend of 6 to 8 versus just 8 alone. Color is going to be very similar. Nose on the regular 101. Now, as you can see, this bottle's drank nearly all the way through for this one. So a lot more time to open up, of course, than the 8 year. Whew. Wow. Yeah, I mean, of course the label tells us, but the 8 year just has a lot more oak notes, sweet oak, you know, that you get from aged bourbons. A lot more lighter fruit coming through. That maraschino, cinnamon maraschino cherry is what I always get for the 101. Whereas the 8 year, it's almost like a dark chocolate covered cherry. Yeah, a lot more orange peel citrus in the 101 as well. Let's give it a taste here. I mean, still good. Still good. Definitely lighter, honestly. Like the mid to back of the palate is more of a lighter finish. Not as mouth coating, I feel like. Let's go back into the 8 year one more time. Yeah, it really is a lot more baking spice forward, honestly. It's coming through quite a bit, even on a neck pour. So I'm getting a lot more of that clove, toffee still. All those, you know, nutmeg, all those classic bourbon baking spice notes really come through more than the regular 101. So it's good, man. It's good. It's good. This could be my new 101. Let's go grab the rare breed. I want to try all 3 of these next to each other just to see. So let me grab that real quick. I'll be right back. All right, got the rare breed. Here we go back into it. Give that a little pour. And now obviously this is upped in proof. The rare breed is 116 proof or 116.8 compared to the 101. So color, we're going to see it darker for sure, which it is. You know, makes sense. But what I'm more concerned about is the flavor profile to see if the additional age really gets close to rare breed. You see, so the rare breed is definitely, I always say, like almost like a whipped vanilla frosting. It really gives me that strong vanilla. And the sweet oak's definitely coming through, much like that 8 year did. This is still much more baking spice forward than even the rare breed to me. Could be the bottle I have, but yeah, that's definitely got a great nose, you know, and the proof definitely comes through very nice on the rare breed. I mean, pretty similar as far as nose goes, but it's definitely more baking spice heavy in the 8 year. All right, let's give the rare breed a taste. Proof is pretty obvious, you know, jumping up in proof, 15 points, it does make a difference, you know. A lot better mouthfeel on that, especially than the regular 101. Mouthfeel still really good on the 8 year though. One more time with the 8 year. It's got a good flavor profile, man. Wild Turkey just works for me all the time. It really does. All right, I'm gonna do the rare breed one more time. One more time. I swear I'm not just trying to drink. Man. Yeah, I mean, these two are both very good. Very good. I'm still giving the edge to the rare breed. It could be the proof coming through. It could be the blending of the 12 year. So rare breed, for those of you that don't know, blends 8, 10, and 12 year. And it could be just the older whiskey coming through a little bit more, giving that whipped vanilla, that mouthfeel with the proof helps a lot too. 8 years delicious, but this just dropped in Michigan, so price was probably more than I should have paid. I paid $57 for this bottle. I'm not proud of it. Not proud of it. Especially if it is truly a shelf staple. I mean, right now it's getting sold out everywhere here in Michigan. So I just wanted to get one, had to get one to try it and see what we thought. Whereas this is $49.99 still, you know, right around $50, $55. I know other markets I've heard about $60, $65 for the rare breed. To me, it's still worth that price for this bourbon. You know, one of my favorite barrel proofs because it's a little bit more muted than other barrel proofs, but still has incredible flavor profiles. Similar to like some Russell's picks I've had, you know, with the rare breed. Value, if this does stabilize, it's supposed to be about a $45 bourbon, the 8 year. If it hits that price point, I mean, I'm definitely going to have it on the shelf all the time, just for the difference. If 101 stays right around that price where it's about $30, of course I'm going to have that too. This will be, to me, probably if I'm having both, this will be what I'll drink neat, the 8 year, just because I love that baking spice profile, a little bit of oak that comes through on it. as compared to the 101. But if I'm, on a boat or out camping or something, I just want my standard 101 all the time. That's always solid, always reliable, always delicious too. Like I said, the quality's not there where it was in years past, in my opinion. But for the value, still a $26-ish bottle here, still really good. So if I had to put these in order, Rare Breed's taking the cake, the 8-year next, and the regular 101 shelfer after all. So again, I think it's a buy. It's definitely a buy at if it does come in for you about the $45 price point, 40, 45. I'm not going to pay probably $57 for this again, unless it becomes like a limited release and people aren't going to be carrying it. It's not actually national distribution like they're saying. We'll see. Stuff changes. But if it is hovering around that $40, $45 price point, I think I'm always going to have this on the shelf. Well, thanks for watching the review today, guys. Thanks for joining me on my 101 8-year journey. Super pumped I got to get this bottle and try it finally. This was probably my most anticipated bourbon of the year so far, just because of my infatuation with Wild Turkey as a distillery. So super glad I got to try it. Let me know down in the comments below, have you guys had the 8-year yet? How do you think it compares to the 101? Is it worth the price bump to you guys up to, $10, $15 more, or depending on the market, maybe only $5 difference to get the 8-year? Or would you just stick with your 101? And then also Rare Breed. Rare Breed for me, again, is cheaper than this bottle was. So I'm still getting Rare Breed all day at that price point. But if it does drop down to that $40 price point, and I got to think twice about it. You know what I mean? I may just get the 8-year instead, if it is readily available, which I sure hope it's going to be. So let me know your thoughts on all that. Appreciate you joining me today. If you haven't already, check out the website. I'm sure I'll be putting a review out of this on there. Still going hard on that a couple times a week. And I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Appreciate you guys being here with me, checking out the channel. Staying safe.